the solar system, like
Part 2?
2, yes.
Well, back to what we started. While we were talking at the asteroid belt, my mom thought I was talking something else, so she stopped recording. So this is part 2. And now we'll be starting to focus on Jupiter. Jupiter is the largest planet in the solar system. It is a gas giant. And if you don't know what is gas giant mean, then it is basically a planet which is made up of gas. Mostly the gas are maybe usually toxic. The Jupiter has a special part that almost everybody know, which is the big red dot. And if you don't know what this big red dot is, it's basically the hugest hurricane storm in Jupiter. It's on Jupiter for a very long time. Jupiter mostly suffer asteroids because it is near the asteroid belt, same as Mars, but Jupiter can somehow manage able to melt it into molten lava. And if you want to explore Jupiter, well, it will be impossible. Right when you start going down with your tungsten spaceship and your tungsten spacesuit, well, you can't communicate once you're in Jupiter because Jupiter is a radio absorbent planet. That's its special thing. And this special planet is very hot. When you are probably more than halfway there, your tungsten spaceship might has already melted, and all you have is your spacesuit, ready to dive down deep. And Jupiter's gravity force is so strong that it'll pull you in, and then you'll never able to get out, no matter what you do. And Jupiter has a lot of moons. I think one of them is Titan, and others are mostly moons that I don't know. Jupiter is very hot, so if you want to learn more about it, then you should be careful, because if one of the satellites even just go into Jupiter just a little, you won't be able to get any radio transmission about data on Jupiter. Unless if there is a special technology, then we might be able to do it. But how are we gonna get the satellite back when it's too strong at halfway there? Well, I don't know. Not everything is solvable, but sometimes time will maybe even in tell. Anyways, let's hop to our next planet, Saturn. Well, Saturn is also a gas giant. It has a special ring, which is made out of asteroids, ice, and all the rest of the shards. Saturn, I guess maybe there are 56 moons. That's a lot of moons. I think the Titan moon may be from Saturn, not Jupiter. Well, I don't know that much. Saturn is the closest planet to the Sun to have rings. Yes, there are 2 planets which have rings. If you don't look at the solar system right, then the next planet is Uranus. Uranus has a vertical ring, and this ring is slightly tilted to the left. Not only it is also a gas giant. It is really cold, and it has lots of moons. And then when we move into our last planet, even though there's a 9th planet, but in 2011, scientists decided because it's not a planet, so they'll move it to the dwarf planet. Don't worry, I'll be able to tell that soon if I can. The next planet, which is the coldest planet, and it has a very strong storm. Maybe it is way stronger than the big red dot at Jupiter. This gas giant also absorbs radio. Well, I guess all 4 of those gas giants absorb radio, so you won't be able to communicate once you're in. Neptune is the 8th planet, which have also a lot of moons. It has a darker color than Uranus. And we'll be moving to special planets. Yay. Dwarf planets. What are they? Planets, but they're not really planets because they're different. And mostly, they won't even call them planets. Maybe they're too small, or their orbit is not correct, or they're in special places. Let's start with our closest one to the Sun. I think it is, I forgot its name, Makemake or something. Makemake is pretty far, so I'm gonna call this the Ceres. Oh wait, that was his name, Ceres. So, Ceres, it is very special. It is in an asteroid belt. Now, asteroid belt between Mars and Jupiter. And I would say the Ceres is having a lot of asteroids bumping into it. Maybe even bigger asteroids. Some people show photos of which is there an alien town or city or not, because there's a white dot on Ceres. Well, you can't tell. And who knows? Well, you don't pretty much know about Ceres a lot. Let's move on to our second planet, Pluto. Supposed to be a 9th planet, but in 2011 is removed and called as a dwarf planet. Its orbit was different, even though it has a moon. Charles? Maybe Charlie. This is pretty cold. But the orbit is so weird that it's just like when it's closest to the Sun, the ice on Pluto will slowly melt. But it moves really slow, the further it is, no matter how weird the orbit is, the longer it takes for it to orbit around the sun. Unless if the orbit is kind of messed up and then they suddenly start orbiting. But I don't know if the sun is able to pull Pluto in if Pluto stops orbiting. Let's move to our next dwarf planet. Maybe Makemake, Erik or Eris, and maybe 2 more dwarf planets. And there is another asteroid belt. It's called the Kuiper belt. And after the Kuiper belt is a lot of space, universe, anything, more solar systems. Maybe even foreign solar systems, aliens, who knows? So Kuiper belt is actually the border of our solar system. Erik and Makemake was excluded. Maybe it was too far. Or it's just too small, because even though Mercury would be the smallest and considered as a planet, it would be too far. Pluto is smaller. Ceres is slightly smaller than the moon, I guess, or Pluto. Makemake has a special shape, so that's the reason it's called that's another reason it's called a dwarf planet. Makemake has an oval shape. It's pretty special. I don't know if you can detect it with a telescope or not, but it's really, really far. Erik, well, maybe its shape is kind of deformed, and 2 of those planets I don't know. Well, that is the whole solar system I know about. Fun fact, did you know the core of the Earth is actually hotter than the sun? I heard it is way hotter than the sun. I'm not sure if it's not, but I'll call it a fun fact. And this is the end of the whole part 2 of and the end of the solar system. Well, the end.